Good morning, dear cadets. So as you know, we are in the lanthanides. So in the last class I taught you the electronic configuration of lanthanides. Once again I am telling you, name is lanthanoids, but lanthanum is not a member of lanthanides. Only 14 members belongs to this one. Now we are in the trends in physical property. So now I am teaching you the oxidation state of lanthanides. Okay, so just see, if you see the electronic configuration of lanthanides, their most stable oxidation state of lanthanide is +3. Remember, +3. In addition to the +3, they exhibit +2 and +4 oxidation state, but they do not exhibit variable oxidation state like that of first transition series because of large energy difference between n-2f and ns orbital. Full stop. n-2f sub cell is very deep or near to the nucleus, whereas ns sub cell is outside. So just try to understand what I want to explain here. Of course, their most stable oxidation state is +3, but in addition to the +3, they exhibit +2 and +4 oxidation state also. Now try to understand if we compare their oxidation state with the first transition series elements. So what you will get here, that much wide range of oxidation state is not there. Means as compared to the elements of first transition series, they do not exhibit wide range of variable oxidation state. I am not telling that they are not exhibiting the variable oxidation state. They are exhibiting, but wide range of variable oxidation state they are not exhibiting as first transition elements are exhibiting. Okay, are you getting my point or not? So what is the reason behind not showing the wide range of variable oxidation state? Because of the large energy difference between n-2f subcell and ns subcell. n-2f cell, that is inside anti penalty mate cell. And now in the first class only I told you what is the meaning of outermost cell, penalty mate cell and anti penalty mate cell. So n-2f subcell, that is inside, so it is near to the nucleus. Okay, so since it is near to the nucleus and ns cell is outside, so energy difference is more. Always remember, the cells which are near to the nucleus, their energy will be less, and the cells which are away from the nucleus, their energy will be more. Now in the last year in Bohr model I told you why the cells which are near to the nucleus, their energy will be less. Because when nucleus attracts the electron which are present near to it, so some amount of energy is released. So the cells which are near to the nucleus, their energy is less. So due to large energy difference between n-f subcell and ns cell, what is there? They are not exhibiting the wide range of variable oxidation state. Of course, in addition to the +3, they exhibit +2 and +4 oxidation state also. Now this is the question which have been asked in the so many means previous year CBSE exams. Ce3 positive is a very good reducing agent, because explanation is also there, because Ce3 positive very easily lose 1 electron to have 0 electron in F subcell. Now just see Ce3 positive. What is the meaning of Ce3 positive? Just see. Actually, if you see the electronic configuration of cerium, what is the electronic configuration of cerium? Yesterday, means last class only I told you that 4f will have 2 electron, 5d will have 0 electron, and 6s will have 2 electron. That is not a electronic configuration of Ce3 positive. That is the electronic configuration of cerium, Ce. 4f2, 5d0, 6s2. Now it has already removed 3 electron, means 2 electron from 6s and 1 electron from 4f. Okay, So now question is why Ce3 positive is a good reducing agent. What is the meaning of reducing agent? Those who easily lose electron, means those who are undergoing oxidation, they are only reducing agent, and those who are undergoing reduction, means gaining electron, they are good oxidizing agent. So just try to understand, Ce3 positive will lose one electron very easily because 4F will have one electron here. So it will lose electron and it will be converted into here Ce4 positive. So when Ce4 positive is there, 4F0, 5D0, 6S0. Correct? Am I correct or not? So now 4F 0 electron is there. So it loses electron very easily. That is why Ce3 positive is a reducing agent. Okay. Why it is losing? Because answer I wrote here. Because it lose one electron, so that it will have 0 electron in F subset. Okay. So stability will be more. Now once the Ce3 positive lose one electron, so it will be converted into Ce4 positive. So just see, Ce3 positive is a reducing agent, but Ce4 positive is a oxidizing agent. What is the meaning of oxidizing agent? Which undergoes reduction, means which gains electron. That ion or element is known as oxidizing agent. So just try to understand. It is oxidizing agent, that is why it is used as a analytical agent. What is this one? In titration, it is used as a analytical agent. Even though its electrode potential is positive, just see, Ce4 positive oblique Ce. This is redox couple. What is this one? Redox couple. Okay. So try to understand here. It means its electrode potential is plus 1.74 volt. So those who are having positive electrode potential, they are oxidizing agent. So it is acting as a Ce3 positive is reducing agent, but Ce4 positive is a oxidizing agent because it will gain electron very easily. Why? Just see. Ce, I am writing here, Ce4 positive. Right now, what is their electronic configuration? This is 4F0, 5D0, 6S0. If 4 electron you are giving it, so very easily it will be converted into 4 electron or 3 electron, whatever you want. So just give this one. So Ce3 positive, just give here 1 electron. Okay. 1 electron, yes, 1 electron. So it will be converted into Ce3 positive and it will gain electron. Okay, so that is the most stable oxidation state. 1 electron, one more electron it can gain. So now Ce3 positive will have now here 4F1 electron and 5D0, 6S0. So then also it is stable. So that is why cerium is since its electrode potential is positive and it is used as a oxidizing agent. So what is there? Ce3 positive is a reducing agent, while Ce4 positive is an oxidizing agent. Now I am writing why. Because it gains 1 electron to have most stable oxidation, most stable oxidation state plus 3. Okay, so just see. So that is why it is a oxidizing agent. So don't get confused. Ce3 positive is a reducing agent. Ce4 positive is a oxidizing agent. So Ce3 positive will lose electron, so that its 4F will have 0 electron. Okay, and Ce4 positive is oxidizing agent because it will gain 1 electron, so that it can be converted into most stable oxidation state, that is plus 3. Okay, now what about oxidation state of other elements of the lanthanides? So just see, at the top I wrote there europium Eu2 positive. Just see, Eu2 positive, YV ytterbium 2 positive. Their plus 2 oxidation state is more stable. Lutetium Lu, lutetium 3 positive. Gadolinium, that is plus 3 oxidation state is most stable. So just see here, they exhibit +2 and +4 oxidation state subject to their EC. Now just see, try to understand here. What I told, the most stable oxidation state is +3 only, okay. But just see, europium, ytterbium, they are exhibiting +2 oxidation state also. Cerium +4 oxidation state also. So actually their most stable oxidation state is +3 only, but in addition to this one, they are exhibiting +2 and +4 also, subject to their electronic configuration. So now one example of electronic configuration I have given you, that is cerium case, okay. So in this way oxidation state is completely completed. Now some other trends are there, one by one will explain. Ionization enthalpy, just see, so far in transition elements, S block and P block elements, what we have studied, the third ionization enthalpy value is more than that of second and first, okay, correct or not? That is the general trends. With the removal of electron, the successive ionization enthalpy values increases. Here just see, for the ionization enthalpy of lanthanides, just see, first you see the setup of orbitals. So first nucleus is there, then 5s, then 5p, then 4f, then 5d, 6s. That is the setup of orbitals near the nucleus. Just see, almost their third ionization enthalpy value is very less as compared to second and first ionization enthalpy. As compared to first ionization enthalpy, second and first ionization enthalpy, okay, IE here full stop, okay. So their third ionization enthalpy value is very less as compared to second and first, because here write, because to attain electronic configuration like 4f0, 5d0, 6s0 or 4f7, 5d0, 6g0 or 4f14, 5d0, 6s0 electronic configuration. Now try to understand here. What is the meaning of this electronic configuration? Means not having any electron in 4f. What is the meaning of this electronic configuration? Half filled state. What is the meaning of this one? Fully filled f orbital, okay. Now try to understand. Question, are you getting my point or not? Generally the third ionization enthalpy value is more than that of first and second, but here what is there? The third ionization enthalpy value is less than that of second and first, because they want to lose electron so that they can have such kind of electronic configuration. The best example is here, lanthanum, first member. Of course it is not a first member, but lanthanides series, that member is also mentioned. So lanthanum 3 positive is there, okay. 3 means lanthanum, from the electronic configuration of lanthanum, if you remove third electron, so it will have 4f0 electron. Similarly gadolinium, if you remove third electron, so it will have 4s7 half filled state. Lutetium, if you remove third electron, it will have 4f14. It will have 4f14 electronic configuration, okay. Are you getting my point or not? So what is the meaning of this one? They want to release third electron at the cost of low energy, at the cost of low ionization enthalpy, because they want to get the half filled, fully filled or 0f orbital electron. Are you getting my point or not? That is why their third ionization enthalpy value is less. Now one more reason is there here. I wrote here, when electrons are removed, inner cells shielding effect increases from poor to strong, means now available electrons are loosely attracted towards the nucleus. and by supplying less amount of energy they will be removed. Are you getting my point or not? Just see, once one or two electron is removed from lanthanides, then what is there? Generally what we have studied in d block elements, because of the removal of electron there is a change in the shielding effect of d orbital. Here also change is there, but see here change. What is there? Once the electron is removed, what is there? Now shielding effect of f orbital become poor to strong. So when shielding effect become strong, what is the meaning of this one? That they will shield the nuclear charge there itself, it will not reach to the outermost cell. Then what would be there? Outermost cells electrons are poorly bonded with the attracted toward the nucleus, and it can be removed by supplying lesser amount of energy. Okay, that is why for this one, for lanthanum, for gadolinium, for lutetium, the ionization enthalpy order is this one. The least one is third, then second, then first. Generally what it should have been? Inverse, ulta. Now third should have been more than that of second, second should have been more than that of first. So this is the reason this lanthanum, gadolinium and lutetium, they want to remove third electron so that they will have either 0 or 7 or 14 electron respectively in their f orbital. Okay, now just see, in this way ionization enthalpy is completed. Now just like transition elements form the colored compound. Okay, we have discussed that one. So transition elements form color compound due to the presence of unpaired electron in d orbital. Second one is splitting of d orbital. Third one is the dd transition. dd transition means migration of electron between T2G set to EG set or EG set to T2G set. That is dd transition, means shifting of electron between T2G and EG set. Okay, so same is the reason here also. F block elements, they are also forming the colored compound. So they form colored compound because they have unpaired electron in f orbital. All will not form. In d transition elements also, zinc, cadmium, Hg, in two positive oxidation state they were forming the colorless compound. Similarly here also only those lanthanides elements will form the color compound which will have unpaired electron. So first condition for the color compound formation in case of lanthanide is they will have unpaired electron in f orbital. Second one is f orbital is splitting. How many types of f orbital is there? 7 orbital. What are this one? F, X, Y. Then now 7 orbital. Now in 11th class I taught you f x y, f x z, f y z, x z, x f x x square minus y square, then z square minus y square, then x square minus z square. Okay, now in if you remember 11th class I taught you the name of that one. So splitting of d orbital is there and ff transition is also there. So just like d orbital is splitting into two sets, T2G and EG set, same way f orbital is also splitting into two sets. But what are the name of those sets? That is beyond the syllabus, beyond the scope of syllabus, will not discuss right now. That point is correct. They are forming colored compound because of 3 reasons. They are having unpaired electron in f orbital. Second one, there is a splitting of f orbital. Third one is ff transition. Okay, this is there. Now you will have very interesting pattern in the color of tripositive ion of lanthanide. Tripositive ion. I am not talking of dipositive and monopositive. Tripositive ions color, you are having very interesting pattern. Let us have the idea of that. So dear cadets, we are still in the color compound formation of lanthanides elements. So just see, lanthanum 3 positive 4f0 electron, last member lutetium Lu 3 positive 4f0 electron. So f orbital are not having any unpaired electron, that is why they are colorless, because they don't have unpaired electron. Okay, now in addition to these two, now very interesting pattern you will have in tripositive ion. the color of tri-positive ion containing NF electron is equal to those tri-positive ion which have got electron equal to 14 minus NF electron. But same pattern is not repeated in di-positive and tetra-positive ion. Just see. I hope that you have not got. Just listen here. Now I am taking this one, Pr3 positive. Okay. So what is the NF electron here? N means principal quantum number. F electron is 2. Okay. So its NF electron is 2. Correct? Okay. Now just see. You do one thing. This is equal to 14 minus N F electron. So just see. NF equal to 2 electron is there. NF equal to 2 electron. And now I am talking of Pr3 positive. Pr3 positive. How many electron is there? 2 electron. So NF electron equal to 2. So now you write here, see, 14 minus 2 F electron. So 14 minus 2 F electron. Now for Pr, what is this one? That is the 4F2. Okay, 4F2, or you can write here 2F. Directly you can write 2F electron, because Pr3 positive has got 2F electron. So now 2F equal to, what is there? 12F electron. 12F electron. Now just try to understand. Which is having 12 electron? Which is having 12 electron? Means 2F electron is equal to 12F electron. So just see, Tm3 positive, 4F electron is there. So what I want to convey you here, the color of Pr3 positive and Tm3 positive will be equal. And what is that color? Their color is green. What is this one? Green color is there. Now this is a color will be same. Why their color is green? That complementary color theory is there. Complementary color theory is there, and now 2 times I have explained that one. So being a particular color, that depends upon which color light from visible spectra they are absorbing. But why their color is similar? This is the reason. Okay. Now again I am hoping that you have not got. Now let us take this one, Nd3 positive. So how many electron is there? Write down here, Nd3 positive. So now how many electron is there here? F3. So NF equal to here 3. Okay, 3. So now here we'll write 3F electron. Now 14 minus 3 here F electron. So how many electron will come? 11. So now the color of Nd3 positive will be equal to the transition elements of tri-positive ion which have got 11 electron. So who has got 11 electron? Erbium, Er3 positive. Just see, 4F11. So means color of Nd3 positive will be equal to Er3 positive. And what is their color? Their color will be pink. What is their color? Pink color. Okay, like that you can see Pm3 positive. So how many electron is there? 4F. So 4F4 is there. 4F4 is there. Now 14 minus 4. So 10 electron. Which is having 10 electron? Holonium. Okay. So the color of this one, Pm3 positive and holonium will be equal. Okay. So ultimately what we can say, the color of tri-positive ion have got the very interesting pattern. What is that pattern? The color of 2 tri-positive ion will be same if their electron, NF electron is equal to 14 minus NF electron. Okay, are you getting my point or not? NF electron. So you have to take the NF electron and then same number of electron you should subtract from 14. Now after subtraction, whatever electron are having or what that electron whosoever of transition elements tripositive, or sorry, not transition. Once again listen the sentence. You should take the NF electron, same electron you should subtract from the means 14. Okay, now after subtraction, whatever electron is there, whatever electron is coming, same electron should be possessed by the tripositive ion of lanthanides, and color of those elements will be equal. Color of those elements will be equal. So can we say in tripositive ion what is there? The color of two tripositive ion is equal if they have got NS electron is equal to, just see, NF electron is equal to 14 minus NF electron. Okay, this is there. And what is the NF electron? The number of electron present in F orbital. Okay, like here I wrote here. So I hope that you have got this one. Okay, but remember, same pattern will not be present in case of di-positive and tetra-positive ion. So dear cadets, just see now magnetic properties. So just see the magnetic properties of transition elements was because of the presence of unpaired electron. So there are two types of magnetic property, paramagnetic and diamagnetic. Which are paramagnetic? Which are having unpaired electron, and which are having paired electron, they are diamagnetic. Okay, so just try to understand. One example I took here, cerium 4f2 5d0 6s2. Okay, so 6s is paired electron, but 4f that is having 7 orbital, and now a 2 unpaired electron is there. So that is why cerium is paramagnetic. What about its 2 positive oxidation state? So 2 positive means 6s2 electron will come out, but still in 4f 2 electron is there, so it will also be paramagnetic. Ce3 positive is still one 4f electron is present. Okay, so unpaired electron is there, it is paramagnetic. But what about Ce4 positive? Ce4 positive means no unpaired electron is present, hence it will be dimagnetic. Okay, now magnetic moment of lanthanides depends upon spin orbital and angular movement. Now just see, in case of transition elements, what was there? Only their orbital movement is because of the spin quantum number. Okay, spin magnetic movement. Here, in addition to the spin magnetic movement, angular movement is also there. So they are means transition elements and lanthanides, they differed in terms of magnetic property also. Their magnetic movement is because of spin movement and plus angular movement. Okay, angular magnetic movement. Okay, so the magnetic moment of lanthanides equal to mu EF, that is equal to 4s s plus 1 plus l plus 1, that is there under root, where s equal to spin quantum number or spin magnetic movement. Here you can write spin magnetic movement. Okay, and what about L? Orbital momentum or orbital magnetic movement. Okay, now try to understand reactivity. Next one is chemical reactivity. Now in this way the magnetic property is over. Now chemical reactivity, they are more reactive than transition elements. Why they are more reactive than transition elements? Because their ionization enthalpy is less than transition elements. That is why they are less, means they are more reactive. Ionization enthalpy only determines here reactivity. So lesser the ionization enthalpy, more will be the reactivity. Their chemical reactivity is almost similar, means one thing is clear, they are more reactive than transition elements. But what about the elements of lanthanides? The chemical reactivity of lanthanoids is almost similar because they are just differed by f orbital electron. Now the inner core which is protecting the 4f orbital electron is similar. What is the inner core? Now earlier only I make this one, just see, this is nucleus. Now after nucleus which cell belongs to the 5s, then what is there? 5p, this one. Then what is there? 4f, then what is there? 5d, then what is the last one? 6s. So just try to understand, don't get confused here. Just see, their chemical reactivity is almost similar because they are differed by only f orbital electron, but they are shielded by same inner core, that is 5s and 4p. Just see, 4f is here, 4f is here or not? Now this 4f electron, they are shielded by 5p and 5s, 5p and 5s. So almost in all the elements of lanthanides, the 4f orbital electrons are shielded by same core, that is 5s and 5p. So the core which is shielding them is similar. Only what is the difference there? They are just differed by 1 electron in f orbital. Like just see, cerium will have 4f2 electron. Now promethium, that will have 3 electron. Subsequently all if you see, so each successive elements of the lanthanides, they are just differed by 1 electron in their f orbital. Rest everything is similar. This is the only reason, that is why there is no wide variation in the chemical reactivity of lanthanides. Now just see, some means lanthanides, they react with some of other elements, like just see, I took here Ln, Ln means lanthanum, okay, Ln plus 3x2 means halogen, so Ln x3, Ln plus H2O, Ln OH whole thrice hydroxide and H2, Ln plus carbon, so they are making 3 kinds of carbide, Ln2C3, LnC or LnC2. Similarly, Ln plus sulfur, Ln2S3, Ln plus 3O2, that is Ln2O3, okay. Ln2 means this is lanthanum oxide. Similarly, lanthanum nitride plus H2O. So this is the rule, whenever any metals nitride react with the water, one of the compound is ammonia gas, NH3. So this is all about their reactivity. The important aspect of in the reactivity, you can note down those reactions. Generally questions will not come from the reaction part of that one, but remember this reaction, Ln, here meaning of Ln is not lanthanum, lanthanide. Sorry, I only told you wrong thing. Ln means not lanthanum, Ln means lanthanide. I will write here, Ln means Ln equal to lanthanoids. Now lanthanides means any lanthanides element you can take here, okay. Have you got this one or not? Lanthanoids means you can take here cerium, promethium, gadolinium, now ytterbium, anyone you can, etc. Okay, you can take here. Now the most important aspect of this unit is lanthanide contraction. Almost every year questions are being asked from lanthanide contraction. So there are 2 things there. They will ask what is the lanthanide contraction and what are the reason of lanthanide contraction and what are the consequences of lanthanide contraction. So since almost the duration of today's video is over, so I will not teach today. Tomorrow I will teach you what is lanthanide contraction, what is the reason of lanthanide contraction and consequences of lanthanide contraction. At the upper side of the blackboard, one thing is written, gadolinium is silvery white metal, colorless. Why it is colorless? You know gadolinium has got 4f half filled stable electronic configuration, hence visible light cannot excite their electron. Okay, cannot, even though it has got unpaired electron. To form the color compound, what should be there? Unpaired electron should be there. So it is having unpaired electron, nevertheless it is colorless because it is half filled electronic state, that is 4f7. Now visible light may not excite, visible light is not having sufficient energy to excite their electron, and you know excitation of electron is necessary to form the color compound. That this is the only reason, that is why it doesn't form colored compound. In this way, now duration of today's video is over. Thank you.